Have you ever felt completely underestimated? Like the world had already written your story, even before you picked up the pen? We've all been there, standing on the fringes, quietly holding a truth or a talent that no one else seems to see. Imagine being dismissed, not for who you are, but for where you are or what you do. This isn't a story of a sudden, miraculous transformation, but of a quiet brilliance bubbling beneath the surface, waiting for just the right moment and the right person to truly see it. This is the story of Sarah. At 19, Sarah wasn't plotting world domination or launching the next big tech startup. She was navigating the early morning rush at the Old Town Cafe, a familiar aroma of coffee and toast clinging to her apron. Her days were a blur of order pads, steaming mugs, and the polite smiles of customers. To most, she was just another young woman pouring lattes, her future seemingly as predictable as the daily specials board. Yet, beneath that unassuming exterior lay a mind sharper than any espresso puller, a keen observer with an almost uncanny ability to dissect complexities. She had a passion, a quiet obsession, that no one at the Old Town Cafe could possibly guess. But what if the very place you feel most invisible holds the key to your greatest revelation? Imagine you're a high-powered CEO standing on the precipice of a multi-million-dollar deal. Your reputation, your company's future, everything is on the line. Who do you trust to find the hidden flaw? A team of expensive, Ivy League-educated lawyers, draped in designer suits and years of experience. Or your local barista, expertly wiping down a counter? It sounds absurd, doesn't it? But sometimes the most profound insights come from the most unexpected places. Edward, the billionaire tech CEO, certainly thought it was absurd. His life was a whirlwind of board meetings, market analyses, and ironclad contracts. This particular morning, he was less than thrilled. A pivotal merger agreement, reviewed by his top legal minds, still felt off. He'd brought the thick, bound document with him to the Old Town Cafe, hoping a change of scenery would clear his head. As Sarah approached his table, notepad in hand, her bright, unassuming presence was a stark contrast to the weighty papers spread before him. Edward, distracted, barely looked up, muttering his order and returning to the dense legalese. He was searching for an anomaly, a tiny ripple in a meticulously crafted pond, and his highly paid experts had missed it. The tension in the cafe was thick, though only Edward seemed to feel it. He traced a finger along a paragraph, his brow furrowed. Sarah, pouring his coffee, caught a glimpse of the complex terms. "That's a pretty intense read for a Tuesday morning," she commented gently, her voice quiet but clear. Edward offered a dismissive grunt, accustomed to being unchallenged. But Sarah wasn't challenging. She was observing. As she refilled his water, her eyes, quick and intelligent, scanned a specific clause. "Excuse me, sir," she ventured, her voice barely a whisper. "But wouldn't that phrasing create a rather large liability if the acquiring company faced unforeseen regulatory changes in the third quarter?" Edward froze. He looked up, his expression a mixture of irritation and utter disbelief. Who was this girl? He dismissed it as a fluke, a lucky guess. He waved his hand. "Just the coffee, thanks." But then, a few minutes later, as he continued to pore over the document, another thought, another phrasing, nagged at him. He glanced at Sarah, who was now clearing a nearby table. "And also," she added, as if she'd been reading his mind, "the indemnification clause on page 78 seems to contradict the intellectual property rights transfer in Section 4. If there's an unforeseen patent dispute, it could invalidate the entire agreement." The cafe's gentle hum faded for Edward. He stared at Sarah, then at the contract. Two major loopholes. Two. His elite legal team, paid handsomely, had missed them. This unassuming waitress had seen them, almost casually. The legal world, often seen as an impenetrable fortress of jargon and clauses, was suddenly illuminated by the clear, insightful beam from a young woman who simply understood the spirit of the law, not just its letters. It was like she was seeing the matrix of the contract, while everyone else was just reading the lines. Don't miss how this simple encounter reshaped everything Edward thought he knew about talent. This unexpected display of brilliance wasn't just a one-off. It was the spark that ignited a much larger flame, leading to an idea that could change lives far beyond the confines of that cafe. What if your biggest frustration could become your greatest innovation? For Sarah, the complexities of the legal system weren't just abstract concepts in a contract. They were real barriers she'd seen impact real people. Her grandmother, once struggling to understand a housing eviction notice, or her neighbor, confused by small print in a medical bill, these experiences had fueled a quiet fire within her. She believed everyone deserved to understand their rights, clearly and simply, without needing an expensive lawyer. This was the genesis of her personal passion project, Lawbridge. Edward, reeling from Sarah's uncanny insight, didn't hesitate. He returned to the cafe later that day, not as a customer, but as a man whose perspective had been fundamentally shifted. He offered Sarah a partnership, a chance to take her raw, untapped genius and apply it on a scale she'd only dreamed of. Hesitantly at first, then with growing excitement, Sarah shared her vision for Lawbridge, a free, intuitive legal education app designed to demystify the law for vulnerable communities. It was an ambitious concept, translating complex legal jargon into understandable language, offering clear explanations of rights, and providing resources for those who couldn't afford traditional legal counsel. Think about it. How many times have you felt overwhelmed by legal documents or processes? Sarah's vision for Lawbridge wasn't just about sharing information. It was about tearing down the invisible walls that prevent so many from accessing their fundamental rights. We'll dive into the stark reality of legal illiteracy for millions, and then showcase how Lawbridge offered a clear, compassionate path forward, turning complex legalese into accessible knowledge. The initial days were a whirlwind of excitement. Edward provided the resources, the infrastructure, and the trust. Sarah brought the concept, the user-centric design born from her own frustrations and the relentless drive to make a difference. Together, they outlined the app's core features, a searchable database of common legal questions, interactive guide for navigating minor legal issues, and a directory of pro bono services. It was more than just an app. It was a promise to level the playing field, a bridge to justice for those who felt lost in the legal labyrinth. See how a simple app could bridge the gap between complex legal systems and everyday people. But as with any groundbreaking idea, the path to success is rarely smooth. Resistance often comes from the very places you least expect it. Ever tried to innovate within an established system, only to hit a wall of skepticism and resistance? While Edward fully embraced Sarah's vision, not everyone at Whitmore Tech shared his enthusiasm. The corporate world can be a shark tank, especially for an outsider. Sarah, stepping from the cafe into the gleaming towers of a tech giant, found herself facing a new kind of challenge, the entrenched skepticism of the old guard. Leading the charge against her was Raymond Teller, the senior VP of legal. For Raymond, legal expertise was earned through years of expensive education and grueling corporate ladders. A 19-year-old barista with an app idea was an insult to his entire career. Raymond's condescension was palpable. He'd scoff at her suggestions in meetings, question her qualifications, and subtly attempt to undermine her authority with other executives. With all due respect, Edward, he'd often say, his eyes fixed coldly on Sarah, I hardly think someone without a law degree is equipped to lead our legal innovation division. The initial dismissive whispers and snickers aimed at Sarah, the cafe girl, were a constant undercurrent. Yet, Sarah remained remarkably composed. Her quiet strength was her shield, and her unwavering belief in Lawbridge was her weapon. She didn't engage in petty corporate battles. Instead, she let her work speak for itself. She worked tirelessly, refining the app's interface, meticulously researching legal statutes, and collaborating with legal aid organizations to ensure Lawbridge was accurate and truly helpful. Edward, witnessing her resilience, offered unwavering support, providing her with the resources and autonomy she needed. We'll juxtapose the closed-door meetings where Raymond scoffed, contrasting that with the testimonials flooding in from communities finally understanding their rights, thanks to Sarah's work. The transformation isn't just in Sarah, but in how an entire corporate culture is forced to adapt to genuine innovation. The app's pilot program yielded incredible results. Stories poured in. A single mother who understood her tenant rights. A small business owner who navigated a licensing issue without legal fees. A student who grasped the intricacies of a scholarship contract. The data was undeniable. Lawbridge wasn't just a good idea. It was a vital tool, making a tangible difference. Faced with overwhelming evidence and Edward's firm backing, even Raymond Teller was forced to concede. The culmination of her relentless effort came with her official appointment as Director of Legal Innovation at Whitmore Tech. It was more than a title. It was a testament to her inherent talent, her perseverance, and the power of a vision. Witness Sarah's unyielding spirit as she reshapes an industry, one challenge at a time. Sarah's journey wasn't just about professional success. It was about a profound personal transformation, realizing her potential and setting the stage for an even greater impact. What happens when one person's unexpected brilliance creates a ripple effect of justice and empowerment across an entire nation? Sarah's story isn't just about a remarkable individual. It's about the enduring impact of a single spark that ignited a wildfire of change. Her success at Whitmore Tech was just the beginning. The Lawbridge app continued to grow exponentially, becoming a beacon of accessible legal knowledge for millions. From urban centers to rural communities, people who once felt powerless against complex legal systems now had a tool in their hands, empowering them to understand and assert their rights. But Sarah wasn't content to rest on her laurels. She saw the bigger picture, the systemic issues that Lawbridge was just beginning to address. With the financial stability and newfound recognition, she decided to deepen her understanding, proving that learning is a lifelong journey. She pursued and earned a full scholarship to Emory University, balancing her demanding role at Whitmore Tech with rigorous academic study. Her goal wasn't just personal advancement. It was to further refine Lawbridge, to expand its reach, and to explore new avenues for legal reform. Eventually, Lawbridge evolved beyond just an app. With Sarah at its helm, it transformed into a thriving nonprofit organization dedicated to advocating for legal literacy and equity on an even grander scale. Her journey from an underestimated waitress to a respected leader, a compassionate innovator, and a fierce advocate for justice became an inspiring testament to the power of potential, regardless of where it originates. Her story underscores the profound difference one individual can make when given a chance, when seen for who they truly are, and when they dare to challenge the status quo. It's a powerful reminder that heroes aren't always found in corner offices or grand courtrooms. Sometimes they're serving your coffee, quietly observing, and waiting for their moment to change the world. Discover how you can be a part of creating a more just world, just like Sarah. If Sarah's incredible story ignited a spark in you, reminding you that innovation and justice can come from the most unexpected places, then hit that like button and share this video. And for more stories of quiet brilliance and unexpected breakthroughs, make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell. We're on a mission to share the narratives that inspire real-world change, and your support helps us do just that.